And we are back on the Zero Hour. I am Richard RJ Eskow, and joining us now is Senator Jim Risch, who has a long and distinguished career as a governor, as a senator, representing the great state of Idaho. And I will tell you right off the bat, first of all, Senator Risch, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Secondly, I'll tell you right off the bat, you and I are at opposite ends of the political spectrum, probably.
So could be, but we're both Americans, aren't we?
We are both Americans.
Right, well,
we both love this country.
We'll start from there.
We both love this country and natural beauty and the folks within it. So that's a great place to start. Sure. Now let's get right to it. You are supporting whom for president?
Marco Rubio.
Tell us why.
Well, you know, I serve with Marco on both foreign relations and on the Intelligence Committee, and I've worked with him for over a half a decade on a lot of different issues. He and I have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in briefings and hearings and meetings, mostly classified, but some open. And I've dealt with him on some of the most knotty issues that this country has faced, both national security issues and our foreign relation issues. People are looking for a guy who's ready on day one. They don't need to wait. He's ready today.
Let me ask you about that.
Sure.
Because I got to tell you, even before we get to the policy differences, I look at Marco Rubio, I look at his performance in recent days and so on. I have to ask myself, is he ready for this? Is he even ready to run the race as a Republican candidate?
Well, you know, I've run 34 times.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched hundreds and hundreds of campaigns. If you're looking for perfection in a candidate or a campaign, probably going to have to wait till you go to the great beyond to find one of those, because it just doesn't happen here. I mean, we're all human beings. We're all people. We have good days. We have bad days. I watch the same thing you watched, and I've listened to the media tell me about what I saw over and over and over again. I didn't see the same thing. But I'll give you this: I'm so close to it, it's hard to make that judgment. But you know, are you going to answer a question wrong sometimes? Yeah, you're going to ask. Are you going to look at the tape afterwards and say, you know, or better yet, watch it with your wife? She will explain to you. She will explain to you clearly how you could have done a little bit better in this area or the other area.
Oh, you're good, Senator Jim Risch. You're good. Because I'll tell you,
Vic and I have been married 48 years.
Yeah,
she's run all 34 of my campaigns. She's won 32. And whenever I talk to her about, well, you only won 32, she says she could have done a better job if she had a better product to work with.
You named my best critic, I'll tell you that. But that said, and my smartest too, but that said, a lot of people, I think, saw what I saw. So, and it wasn't so much that the answers were wrong. It was that they, and you heard this a million times since the debate,
sure,
that they seemed scripted and that he repeated the same thing over and over again, that he said that repeated the same thing a day or two later. So I think a lot of people, I'll tell you, coming from the other side of the fence, I looked at that Republican race a few months ago and I thought, that Rubio, I worry about him. I'll be honest with you.
Well, you should worry about him.
Now I don't worry. Now I'm a little less worried. Tell me something to make me worry again.
Well, I've been with this guy hundreds of hours, and what you saw there, I'll be the first to admit that Christie threw a punch, actually threw a haymaker. The question is always for a candidate: can you take a punch, or can you just deliver a punch?
Right.
And that's. He came back with what all candidates do, and that is stayed on message. And he said, look, you people are saying that you're comparing me to Barack Obama and saying, look, Barack Obama's an incompetent. Barack Obama is not an incompetent, is what he said. And by the way, you would agree with that.
Oh, no, I would agree with that.
In the first half of his first term, he passed Obamacare. He passed $1 trillion stimulus. He passed Dodd-Frank. That is not incompetence. That is real competence. Now, it wasn't going the direction I want, and it wasn't going the direction that Marco Rubio wants. But on the other hand, you can't say, well, look, Barack Obama is incompetent, and therefore Marco Rubio is incompetent. I don't buy that at all.
Here's some free speech writing for you, because I've done some work as a speechwriter. If I were Marco Rubio, I would have said, well, he beat you all, and that's what I intend to do, too.
You should have a contest on the radio and everybody say what he should have said.
Yeah, no. Look, hey, it's a tough one, and I get that, but think he's got a challenge ahead of him. I'll tell you what I think's working for him. You tell me what could work for him, but you tell me. I think. All right, there's no diplomatic way for me to say this.
Well, just go ahead.
All right, I think most of those other guys are nuts. I think that one of the best things he's got going for him is he's not, and I'm just speaking politics now, not policy, right? Is he's not nuts and he's not Jen.
You know, let me tell you something else that you should worry about him. We Republicans are really, really good at doing gloom and doom. As a matter of fact, I could sit here and give you a speech about the financial condition of this country to bring tears to your eyes. Marco Rubio is not. Marco Rubio is not that guy. I mean, he has a positive message. You know, if you're around him and you hear him talk about what he sees for the future of America, and how he believes our best days are ahead of us, and what he can do to get us there, and how he can reestablish our position on the world stage, you'd be more worried again than what you are.
All right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you. I also lived in New Jersey when Chris Christie was up and coming, and I will give you. Although again, I disagree with Marco Rubio on most policies. I would say I'll get a little. You used a boxing metaphor a little earlier in our conversation. Chris Christie, glass jaw. I think he can take him. I tell him to take. If I were advising him, I'd say take that guy on straight on. Do not back down from that man. So.
Well, if you've lived there, you know more than I do. I'm supporting Rubio, and so I'll let you guys talk about the other candidates. I'm not going to.
All right. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. So, Senator Jim Risch, I really appreciate you coming and talking with us.
I'm glad to be here.
I appreciate this collegial discussion from people who disagree so much.
You know, we do this in the Senate all the time. Everybody hears about the toxic atmosphere up there. You know, we are polarized on issues about where America should be. Do you want a nanny government, or do you want to do you want freedom? You want to take care of yourself? I mean, we're polarized on those issues, but we get along well personally. We really do. The 100 senators, you'd be surprised how well everyone does get along.
Yeah, well, that's encouraging for our democracy. So I'm glad you guys aren't duking it out in the cloakroom like they used to in the old days with the canes, right?
Yeah. That only happened once. You guys never let it go.
All right, that's the media for you. Senator Risch,
All right,
thanks for
good
joining
talking.
us.
Thank you.
Same
Enjoyed
here.
doing it.